Please, just talk. Do something. Make a contribution. Do something, god damn it. Fucking speak!
Love and leg drops, bitches.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops. We love to crumb. We love to crumb. Peace, love, and leg drops.
Peace, love, and leg drops.
Fuck you.
After Party Hangover.
Welcome to the After Party Hangover. I'm your host, Mangria Fueled, and this is a show that talks about a show that talks about a show. Today's guest, he is an Instagram question veteran, and I'm gonna forgive me. I'm gonna say this how Zenka says it. I know it's not how it's pronounced, but francoisemosawa. How's it going, my man? What's going on?
It's going pretty good, man. That's actually not how it's pronounced, but yeah, it's going pretty good.
Oh, that's how it's pronounced?
No, that's not how it's pronounced.
Oh, okay.
Franco. But, you know,
Okay.
that's how I always pronounce it.
Okay, well, let's start out every hangover like we do. Explain to the listeners your Instagram name so we can all start pronouncing it correctly.
Franco is Mosawa.
Oh, okay. And what's the origin of that?
Mosawa is actually also spelled backwards.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Okay,
Yeah,
well.
one day, I'm a big Miz fan, so one day I was wearing a Miz t-shirt that said awesome. I took a picture in front of a mirror, posted on my Facebook, you know, back like in 09, 08 when all the kids did that shit.
Yeah.
And my friend commented saying that it's not awesome, it's Mosawa. So that's how that word was invented for us.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I like origin stories like that. Well, when did you begin watching wrestling? Like, who got you into it? And did you start watching WWF or WCW? What's the origin of that?
I don't actually watch wrestling.
Oh, you don't watch wrestling?
I don't watch anything, man.
Oh, wow. That's weird.
Nah, I'm playing. I
Oh,
started
okay.
back like, I can't really remember when. I know at one point I was on my couch in my living room doing the RVD whenever he came out, the symbol.
Yeah.
And then I remember The Rock being my favorite wrestler of all time, him always talking, but then, but not a specific like match or moment until in 07, Batista, Undertaker, when they're on SmackDown, Edge. But nothing in particular that I remember from like WCW or WWE. I was too young.
Did you stumble onto it by yourself, or it was just on one day, or?
I always liked it. My mom always had like a crush on The Rock, but then like I forgot about it. Once I remembered it again, I was like scrolling through TV and I saw Raw one day, or SmackDown one day with Edge, and then I just started watching it again.
Oh, nice, man. How did you discover the Still Real After Party podcast?
I always liked their page since like 2016, I think,
Uh-huh.
on Facebook. And, their memes are always hilarious. Whoever posts memes, which is, I think, Zenka. It's always hilarious.
Yep, the memes. That's what ties most of all the listeners together is the memes.
Yeah. I don't know, last year, like, summerish, I saw someone post the podcast, and I was just getting into podcasts. So I was like, let me see what this is about. Maybe it's actually pretty funny. And, yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
Was it the after party or was it the Steel Real Radio?
No, it was actually the after party.
Oh, the after party. Oh, that's cool. Do you have a favorite segment of the podcast?
Jake's, he hasn't done it in a while, but Dear WB.
Yes. Yeah, I know he hasn't done that. That was a really funny segment. I like how he cues the music up. It's all like semi-serious but funny as well.
Yeah.
So the theme songs when you were growing up, you said you were watching when Edge and Batista and Rock was around. Do you have a favorite wrestler's theme song of all time? Like you might have a ringtone of, or just a personal favorite?
Well, you can't go wrong with Edge Metalingus.
That's a very good one. I love that one as well.
The Miz's theme song is low-key really fucking awesome.
Hell yeah, it is.
And the Fiends, the Fiends, Bray Wyatt and the Fiends, both the old one and the new one are damn good.
That new song, dude. I cannot wait to bump that on the way to Vegas next week.
Yeah, I have it on Spotify. I bump it every day. It's nice.
Do you have a favorite match of all time? Like in all your years of watching wrestling, is there a match that sticks out that you show people that you want to get into wrestling?
Favorite match? Probably the Custody of Dominic match, just because it's hilarious. Custody of Dominic.
Oh yeah, the ladder match where Vicky Guerrero made her first appearance or something like Is the ladder match your favorite gimmick match as well?
Yes, the ladder match is my favorite gimmick match of all damn time. And lately it's been kind of but I know when I was younger I bought the DVDs, like the compilations.
Yeah.
And I watched those every freaking day, all the matches.
You know, I'm kind of glad they don't do it a lot more often, because then we get sick of them, like the Hell in a Cell or the 2 out of 3 falls. So let's just save the ladder matches for special occasions only, like Money in the Bank, and that's good. How about the WWE video games? Did you grow up playing any of the SmackDown versus Raw or the No Mercies?
Yeah, I was never big into video games, but wrestling's the only game that I usually play. SmackDown versus Raw 07 is probably my favorite one. I think it's almost everybody's favorite one.
Was Edge?
But Here Comes the That was pretty good.
Was Brock your go-to character, or Edge?
On 07, it was actually Benoit.
Oh shit, CBG.
Yeah, I'm big fan.
Oh, that's why you're rooting for him for the Hall of Mediocrity 2020.
Yeah, he needs to get in the Hall of Fame. Whichever one, what doesn't matter to me, just as long as he gets in one.
Well, according to Jake, not only are you going into the Hall of Fame this year, but CBG's got a strong case for the celebrity wing.
He better go in. He's the one that deserves it the most.
Recently I've been farting around with the Wu-Tang name generator, so I went ahead and entered your Instagram tag, and your Wu-Tang name is very weird. It's Genus Mustela Sunset. Just in case you ever wanted to kick off your rap career, you can go ahead and put out your first EP with that name if you want.
Funny enough, actually, I used to rap when I was younger.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I was very fucking terrible, so I'm never going to do it again.
Did you ever record any tracks?
I did. I recorded 2 mixtapes. One I actually made CDs of, and it was god-awful.
Nah.
I still have the CDs. And the second one was strictly SoundCloud.
Oh, wow, man, that's cool. Was it you and your friends, or just you solo?
No, it was me and one of my friends that I hardly talk to now.
Damn. What was your rap name? Was it just Franco?
Yeah, it was just Franco. Our group name was Far From Alone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanted to get your 2 cents on some reoccurring subjects that come up on the Steel Raw After Party podcast and the After Party Hangover. First, I want to know your 2 cents on the Andi versus Sam feud. Whose team are you on?
I'm really Team Sam, just because, he always puts out funny shit.
Oh, wow, Sam. You're the first person to say that. Well, besides Zanka.
I mean, Andi with an I, he has, funny-ass questions, great-ass questions, but, Sam was, the original
content.
Still pretty person.
Yeah. The finishing move finals. I'm actually going to be recording that later. The final 2 moves came down to the Claymore kick versus the Kinshasa. What do you think should win?
Claymore kick all the way.
The Claymore kick. Oh, nice. Any reason?
It looks freaking devastating.
It really just comes down to a running boot to the head and a running knee to the head, and I think they're pretty much both devastating. The Drew McIntyre hits that Claymore kick, and man, you could just tell that it does look like it fucks up the people he hits it with. And the Kinshasa, I mean, it's your kneecap crushing into someone's temple. That's pretty fucking devastating too. It's going to be an interesting debate later on, but I'm going to have Andi and Sam on to debate which should win. So that should come out later on as well. The Joker movie. I noticed you asked that question, I believe it was a couple weeks ago. What did you think about the Joker movie? Did you like it?
I have not seen it. I'm not a big fan of DC. I just couldn't think of any. Ask this one.
Yeah, Marvel does it right, man. Marvel, all their movies have been very enjoyable. DC is very hit and miss. I mean, they're supposed to be coming out with the Flash movie, I believe, next year.
I just want to say, like, how are you gonna have a movie? How are you gonna be beating each other up until Martha?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
That was bullshit. They had to find some way to save Superman's ass, though, I guess, and they were desperate, so they went with that. I don't even know if that's their real names in the comic books. I have no idea, but Joker movie, my 2 cents, it was fantastic. It really didn't have much to do with the horrible DC universe they created. It's just a really good movie. Okay, let me dig into my Facebook questions, and okay, I need to change the names because I said Jake and Zenka in this, so I'll change it to Franco. Franco, what's the worst video game you've ever played?
Worst video game? Yeah, I hardly ever play games, but I picked up Crash Bandicoot recently again. Remember loving the game, and I can't get past like one of the first levels, and I'm really pissed off. So that's probably the worst game.
You know, that's one of the most simple games, but one of the most frustrating games. I remember playing that when I was growing up, and you're just like, oh, you just run forward and jump. This is pretty easy. And 10 minutes later, I'm punching my controller and cursing the Lord.
Yeah. 2K20 though, I've only played 2 matches, so I don't know how bad it really is.
Oh,
it seems to me like this.
It didn't glitch on you?
Every year.
The game didn't glitch on you?
It has the same glitches as every year. I've only played 2 matches so far since I got it, so I haven't really dug deep into it.
I might go ahead and just buy back my 2K19 because I've seen all the Twitter videos and I've heard all the negativity about it, and I don't want to waste $70 on a fucking game that I can barely play.
I usually get the collector's edition just because of the collectibles, since I collect a lot of shit. And my wife pre-ordered it for me, paid it off and everything, and I couldn't pass it up. I really wanted that Edge autograph. I didn't get it. I got freaking Rey Mysterio.
Oh, was it random? I thought you could request the wrestler you wanted.
No, it was random. It was your Edge, Kurt Angle, or Rey Mysterio. And of the 3, Rey Mysterio is my least favorite, so I was really upset.
Did he at least autograph it? Because, the Edge ones that were going out weren't autographed?
Yeah, there's a few that they said weren't autographed. But if anybody wants to trade Rey Mysterio and Edge, hit me up. There
you go, man. The second part of that question, by the way, was to Zenka, but I'll change it to Franco. Franco, have you ever finger blasted a chick at the theater?
No. Not that I can say no.
Of course, Zenka was all over that. He's like, of course. Alrighty, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Steel Real After Party, episode 94, Spaghetti Man. Zenka kicked off the podcast by asking Jake, have you humpback whaled your friends? Is this something you're familiar with, Franco?
I am not familiar with that at all.
I'm half thinking he just made it up on the spot and half thinking he was serious, putting the baby powder in your ass and then arching your butt up and farting when your friend comes into the room. I think that'd be a pretty uncomfortable aftermath. It might be funny in the moment, but afterwards, you'd be like, now I can't get my friend's asshole out of my mind. And then he asked Jake. I love how Zenka just thinks of these random hypotheticals during the podcast because his brain jumps all over the place. He asked Jake, okay, so you take a chick home. You're about to fuck for the first time. Which wrestler's gear do you come out in? Do you have an answer for that one?
Probably the Miz's.
Oh, the Miz, just chonies and sunglasses?
Oh no, his Naruto, the robe and everything.
Oh. Would your wife appreciate that, or would she be like, get out?
I think she'll find it hilarious, but we won't be having sex after that.
I thought about it as well, and I might have to go with Zenka's answer, the Midian, naked Midian, just having a fanny pack on. Jake went with Vader. He wanted to hit the Vader bomb, which was funny but kind of weird. Zenka has famously hated some people in the past, such as Jeff Jarrett and Dominic, but now he's unlocked a new hatred for MMA fighter Cain Velasquez, hence the name of the episode, Spaghetti Man. What are your thoughts on Cain Velasquez? Do you think he's going to be good, or do you think he's getting off to a shitty start? And what are your thoughts on his crown jewel match against Brock?
Cain Velasquez, like, I never really watched UFC. Still really don't. I only watch, like, Pressers crossover, CM Punk, and I'm paying attention to JK because he's one of my favorites. But Cain Velasquez, I know he had like a badass showing in AAA. I have yet to see the match. I've only seen highlights. It looked pretty good, but the way that they're talking, Vince wants him to be like Brock, and I don't want to see that whatsoever. I'm hoping Brock Lesnar actually retains his title because, I kind of actually like Brock just a tad bit. He can actually wrestle, but yeah, Cain Velasquez to me.
As far as his promos, I think Cain Velasquez needs an advocate like Brock has. Because if you remember, most of Brock's promos are bullshit. Like, he can't... He's not really good in front of a live audience. I mean, backstage, when they shoot the promos with Paul Heyman, he's good. But in front of a crowd, if he ever gets wutted or if they give him a stupid line to say, he kind of says it awkwardly. So I think maybe if Rey Mysterio does retire, maybe he should be Kane's advocate. I mean, Rey Mysterio is not that great at promos either, but he's way better than Kane.
Yeah.
Also in this podcast, we had Zenka calling Shelton Benjamin the chocolate Dolph Ziggler. He called Humberto Carrillo a cutie snack. And he said Ruby Riott looks like the kind of chick who would fuck a carny.
He's not wrong.
I always thought Ruby Riott looked like the Angry Bird, the yellow one, the one that goes fast. She has that pointy looking beak face. I never really found her attractive, and the tattoos are weird too. When she grows her hair out, she looks kind of decent, but what do you think of her? Would you hit that or quit that?
I'll quit that. It's the nose that does it for me. That's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, it's pretty weird looking. As far as the questions go, I think the hashtag of the episode was from Julius Caesar. Hashtag pass me a bib because I eat ass like some ribs. That was really funny. I like that one a lot. He's good at the hashtags. I believe he was the last hashtag champion before they started doing the hashtag bit at the end of the episodes.
I hope he actually, is true to those words and actually eats ass like ribs.
He probably does. If you go back and listen to his interview, that dude's smooth as fuck, and he probably gets all kinds of ass. And Styx Adams' Facebook question was making me laugh because he said, I would go back and haunt Chris Benoit so I can learn how to tie the perfect necktie. God damn, that was funny. Oh, shit. Do you have any funny Instagram or Facebook question that you can recall from the past?
No, that one was actually pretty funny. The one, which one would you haunt?
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that, and that one was actually pretty good.
Who would you haunt?
Who would you ask you first?
Oh, okay. I would haunt. I would haunt Ric Flair, because if he talks like that in the ring, how does he talk at home? I want to know how he's really like at home. Because I bet you there's all kinds of fucking funny content we're not seeing.
Yeah, probably a lot.
How about yourself?
I'll probably haunt Triple H, just to, like, go and see how he is at home with Stephanie and everything, and the kids. If he really talks, just like time to play the game. He always talks to the kids.
He probably plays his theme song when he nails Stephanie in the bedroom. He spits water all over her face.
That's what I'm thinking. He has to do that.
All right, man. Well, go ahead and plug your podcast and tell people what your podcast is about.
My podcast is Wrestling Tacos Podcast. TALKOS. It's about wrestling. We have been crossing more over to the independent scene here in Texas. So we talk a lot about Texas with indie wrestling, along with WWE, AEW, NWA, all the basic wrestling shit. That's too much already.
Well, of all the Texas independent wrestlers you've seen, is there any that stands out to you that you want to give a shout out to?
Let's see, Retro Randy. We do a Wrestler of the Week each week, and Retro Randy's the one who is this week's Wrestler of the Week. He's pretty good. He has like a retro gimmick. Fucking comes out to like a badass song. It's pretty good, a gimmick. Sammy Guevara is actually from Texas, so he's one of my favorites. But everybody wants to punch him in the fucking face because he has a punchable face.
Yep, that's the rumor on the podcast.
Yeah, Jake wants to punch him in the face, and Jake, he's a pretty good wrestler. So just give him some credit for that.
Give him some slack, Jake. Come on now.
And Gino, the Latin heartthrob, I think he's going under now. El Intocable Gino Medina. He just got signed to MLW, which is fucking badass because I see him like every month here in my city. I actually interviewed him in my city, which is dope.
Oh, that's sweet, man. Do you go to all? So you do go to all the indie events as well?
Not all of them, but the ones in my city I go to for sure. I'm gonna start traveling. I live in Corpus Christi, 2 hours away from San Antonio. So start traveling to San Antonio to go to the better shows. Like this past Saturday, I went to one of their shows to see Gino versus Retro, first time ever, and that match was damn good.
I'm curious about the indie crowds. Are they, since they're more passionate, are they like an NXT crowd, or do you go to some indie events and they're barely into it, or are they all pretty much all committed, like the Full Sail audience?
It really depends. In Corpus, in my city, there's probably like half that are diehards and actually cheer out loud, and the other side is like just they're taking their kids to go watch wrestling, so they're not really that loud. But in San Antonio, they have the event I was at. The whole crowd was loud and packed.
Do you go to El Paso at all?
I do not. I haven't been over there since I was like maybe 8 when my brother lived up there.
I was kind of curious if they had like a mural for Eddie Guerrero or something, because I know that's where he was from.
I don't see why they wouldn't, but I'm not 100% sure. In my city, if anybody knows Corpus Christi, Selena Quintanilla is from here, if anybody even knows who she is outside of Texas. But we have like murals and all that stuff around here for her, and like she passed away, I forgot what year, but she passed away a long time ago, and they're always celebrating her every year. They have like a festival here, and to me, I don't like her music, and it's just annoying. I like her as a person, but like they just keep playing and overdoing it. I'm just like, y'all need to stop with it.
Well, I did listen to the episode that Jake was on, your podcast, and I have a question. Since that episode, have you bought a pop that you would like to give a shout out to?
Funny enough, I'm actually trying to get out of the pop game, but The Office pops came out since then. I'm a big fan of The Office. So all of The Office pops. I recently got Dwight Schrute as the Hate King. That one's probably my favorite one now.
Yeah, I just started watching The Office because Comedy Central forced me into it because they play reruns every day when I wake up. So I've been slowly getting into it. I think it's pretty funny. Dwight the Hate King, you said?
Yeah, it's a funny looking pop.
Oh, that's fucking funny. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you for your time, and I'm glad we got to know you better, and hopefully we get to see you in the Facebook questions again and the Instagram questions. And hey, man, I'll see you in the Hall of Fame in 2020.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
All right, and as always, all hail Linda's Bush. Hello and welcome to the Finishing Move Crumb-Offs Finals. It's been 12 weeks in the making, and now it has come down to Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick versus Shinsuke Nakamura's Kinshasa. Here to defend their cases, the main event. He is the MVP of the After Party Hangover, and tonight he has a ladle full of truth. It is Andi with an I. How's it going, my man?
Not only do I got a ladle full of truth, I got a ladle full of ass on the other side of the country I'm ready to eat.
And speaking of that, representing the Claymore kick, he spits fire, he spits venom, he is the awesome Aussie, he is Sam, that wrestling guy. What is going on, my man?
Hey, what's up, man? Look, I might spit stuff, but Andy's wife definitely doesn't spit, that's for sure.
Shots fired already. Alrighty, well, I'm going to give you each 2 minutes to plead your case for your finisher. And we will start out with Andi with an I. Plead your case starting now.
Okay, so Kinshasa. Not only is it fun to say, it's got one of the best setups that to a move, because although the Claymore kick might come out of nowhere, that
Say it right, fuckhead.
Say again?
Say it right, fuckhead. Go on.
Oh, really?
Hey, you're cutting into his
that's
time.
Right. No, it's fine. Bring the heat. I don't care. The Kinshasa, it's fun to say. It's got this awesome movement after the movement. So it's like almost if you're crumbing, you got that knee-jerk reaction. And that's like the motion of the Kinshasa. So not only are you getting knee to the eye, you're getting crumb to the eye. You just don't see it. And that's what puts people out for the 1, 2, 3. So that's why, in my opinion, Kinshasa shits on the Claymore. That Claymore is the drizzling shits. A man that big shouldn't have to do some stupid little sissy kick just to get a victory. I don't even need to. I think I'm good.
You're done? Okay. All right, and now Sam, you represent the Claymore kick. Plead your case starting now.
Well, Andy, were you on the debate team, mate? Because that was pretty comprehensive, man. You must have, had some serious debating in your time, because that was absolutely fucking horrible, mate. Kinshasa. What a great move that is, mate. Well done. Way to sell it. Way to put the move over, mate. You mentioned it with coming. Vote on you, mate. You said it anyway.
You get any of that?
Sam, you're breaking up like really bad.
You sound like Helen Keller trying to masturbate.
Brutal, done well, looks good.
Sounds like Stephen Hawking finger banging fucking Helen Keller.
Okay, Sam.
So, yeah, keep it in, because the thing is, I was masturbating as well while I was doing this program.
You now get your chance to plead your case for the Claymore kick by Drew McIntyre, starting now.
First, Andy, mate, were you on the debate team as a kid because clearly you weren't. That was absolutely fucking horrible, mate. You used 30 seconds. It's a 2-minute allocation. Stick within the rules, mate. I know that's not what you're into, but anyway, we'll move on. Claymore kick. Is there really a debate here, guys? I mean, the best argument you've got is that a big man shouldn't be fucking jumping off and doing a move like that. They should do more of a drop move or a big power bomb. Let me fucking tell you something, mate. Every big move in the history of big men have fucking done a power bomb or a drop move. That's why the Claymore sticks out, because it's the big fella, fucking 6'10" or however the fuck he is, the big Scottish bastard getting off the ground, boom, out of nowhere, bang, out of nowhere, smack, that big boot right in the fucking chin, mate, comes out of nowhere, just like the RKO. I tell you what, I also come out of nowhere as well when I'm banging your wife, just a side note. It is really good. And the best argument you've got is comparing a Kinshasa with Cumming. Well, look, to be fair, you know, when I am with your wife, I'll go back to your wife. I kind of, just about, I'm about to blow, I do like the Shinsuke Nakamura kind of, type thing. So, I mean, there are comparable factors there with what I do, but still, mate, it's a crap finishing move. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes he doesn't connect. You want to do a good knee move, mate? Look at Kenny Omega's fucking V-trigger, man. He knocked fucking Janela's head off. Kinshasa's weak as shit, man. And just like you are, you're weak as shit too, mate.
20 seconds.
Oh, 20 seconds. Baron Corbin sucks, Baron Corbin sucks, Baron Corbin sucks, Baron Corbin sucks, Baron Corbin's the worst, Baron Corbin's a piece of shit. Oh, wait, we're not talking about Baron Corbin. He's a fucking idiot, Baron Corbin.
5 seconds.
Baron Corbin sucks dick.
Time. Alrighty. Very entertaining, guys. Okay, now I gotta play devil's advocate here. Now, as far as the Kinshasa goes, I can argue that Shinsuke Nakamura, he's been around longer, and he's won way more championships using that finisher. Like, he won the NXT title from Samoa Joe twice. He's won the Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, not to mention multiple titles across the world using his strong style, including the Kinshasa. However, the Claymore kick by Drew McIntyre is so devastating. I don't think anyone has ever kicked out of it. And with Drew McIntyre won the NXT Championship from Bobby Roode in 2017 with it. He also beat the B Team along with Dolph Ziggler to win the Raw Tag titles with it. You said Roman Reigns kicked out of it?
Roman Reigns kicked out of it. Stomping Ground, when we saw the debut of the hashtag TWG loves Baron Corbin sign.
You're still going on about that, are you, mate? Hold on.
The percentages from the fan votes, and as far as tonight goes, I must give the final vote to the Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. That gigantic flesh missile that is Drew McIntyre. Watch, in the coming future, the very near future, we're going to see Drew McIntyre do big things with the Claymore kick, whereas Kinshasa Shinsuke, I don't see it going uphill. But as far as finishing move goes, I believe we're going to see a Drew McIntyre holding up a Universal Championship because of the Claymore kick. Well, thank you, fellas, for that final argument.
Great work by the fans. Great work by the fans, honestly. You've got really good fans on your podcast. Not like the Steel Real Boys. This one's the real show, mate.
Well, on to the next. Seeing as how AEW and NXT are stepping up their tag team game, really making us all fall in love with tag team wrestling all over again because it finally fucking matters. The next crumb-offs are going to be the tag team crumb-offs. Now for this one, I would like Andi and Sam to each select a tag team from any era, any promotion, anything they like, that they think are the best tag team of all time. Let's start with Andi. Andi, what is your pick for the tag team crumb-offs?
Tag team crumb-offs, any era,
Yes.
brand, I am going to have to go with... Dang, that's a lot of tag teams.
It's a hard question because I'm having a tough time trying to pick just one.
I'm going to have to go with the oddities. And I want it specifically to be Giant Gonzalez with Golga.
Who's the second one?
Golga.
Golga?
Yeah, the guy used to wear the gold luchador mask with the Eric Cartman shirt.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. Is that guy still alive?
Probably not.
Okay, Sam. Pick a tag team spanning all the eras.
Billy and Chuck.
Billy and Chuck. Okay.
I was hoping
That's me and you, Andy. That's me and you, mate. We're Billy and Chuck.
And,
you know
Mangria's Rico.
That's right. I got the sideburns. Let's see. Are you picking the gay Billy and Chuck or the when they remember they were getting married and they're like, we're not gay, and then they all of a sudden became like manly men, butch. Are you picking the gay versions or the manly men versions?
The You Look So Good to Me.
Okay.
Yeah, those ones.
There you go.
The gay ones.
Oh, that's awesome. Any thoughts over the past week of wrestling? We've digested a lot this week. Any observations from SmackDown that just happened or NXT, AEW? You guys want to get off your chest?
Highlight of the night for SmackDown was Cain Velasquez getting F5'd onto Dominic.
I heard from California to New Hampshire, Zanka fucking exploding jizz all over his fucking walls when that happened.
That was definitely the highlight for that boring ass SmackDown.
Did you check out AEW or NXT, Sam?
I caught, because their internet's so fucking shit here, I can only download one show a week.
Yeah.
No, I caught NXT, and that, look, you know, I love a great turn done well. Just, you know, we're talking a lot about crumbing here, which you guys do a lot, which is fine. Everyone crumbs. That heel turn, back to, you know, and I don't know if you saw his promo on that fucking Fox Sports show afterwards or whatever, that backstage.
No, I missed it.
Oh yeah, he's on. Finn's on. It's old Finn, man. It's great, and that turn was done brilliantly well. And I got really excited.
What did he say? What did he say on backstage?
Oh, they just kind of mentioned like why did you go back to NXT? And he's like, back. He's got a really good quote. He's like, back. Well, Raw and SmackDown have turned into the Avengers movies, and NXT is live. NXT is live theater, and you've got no place to hide. And I thought that was fucking brilliant.
Wow.
And then he's like, yeah. And then he's like, Booker T's like, so is this the real Finn Balor? And he's like, no, is this the old Finn Balor? And then Finn's like, no, this is the real Finn Balor. The Prince is back. And then that's it. It's brilliant.
Oh, wow. Shit. Did he do the gun thing again with his hands?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that far. I only saw a bit of highlights of it. But yeah, fucking look out for what's coming. It's good shit.
Man, I want NXT to be dominant. I want them to start winning the ratings because I truly believe it's the better show. I mean, AEW, they have a production, you know, they have the pyro and all that stuff, but I love NXT because it remained NXT. Like, there was no bells and whistles. All they did was add a balcony, and they're still kicking ass. AEW's got to bring in pyro, and they got to bring in DDP, who I can't believe he's still moving. But I think I love NXT because it remained true to itself. What do you guys think?
No, definitely NXT. Again, it won in my opinion, I think it won because it's telling better stories where it's just like AEW revolves around the same freaking people, but you got good talent there. Like, Private Party is definitely like another version of the Street Profits, but I actually give a shit about Private Party and what they're doing. they're doing it different and they're doing it better. They don't have to be so over the top. So if they can put more emphasis on like those type of talents instead of goddamn Cody, did you see that entrance they had for Cody? That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? And he was just doing an interview segment. Do that in backstage. You have to lift the whole stage for the motherfucker.
Yeah, but you know, with Jericho interrupting with that fucking air horn was genius.
Yeah, Jericho is like the best thing got going, but they need everybody else to get on that level.
Yeah.
And they have definite characters to do it. They just need to stop revolving around the same fucking people. And who gives a shit about DDP?
Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone's been a bit too critical. Look, they've been on the air like 4 weeks now. Give them time to develop the storylines. If we're having this conversation in 6 months, then maybe it's a bit of a fail, but they're still really finding their TV legs, I reckon. So you just give them a little bit of time to develop characters' backstories, because they're all relatively newish. I mean, to the hardcore fans, we know these guys, but to a TV storytelling audience, they're still relatively fresh. So I say give them 6 months before we can really start criticising the storytelling aspect of it.
Yeah, that's true. I think as a WWE purist, I just get all worked up when all the fans online are like, "Oh, AEW is the best fucking thing out there. It's better than everything WWE's ever done." And like you said, they've only done 4 shows, and it's like, all right, guys, relax.
Yeah, fuck those guys. I ran about those guys. Oh God. Yeah, look, they've got no idea. I can't believe they're just so desperate to shit on the WWE. That, look, it's just like, and I know Zanka preaches this as well. It's like, just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride. It's fucking exciting, man. We haven't had this shit for ages. We've been crying out for a decent, battle, and it's coming.
Yeah, and fans bitch about both sides, but I think in the end, I think we all love this. We're all a bunch of spoiled, just overindulged critics. Like, none of our opinions really matter. We're all just taking this in. It's an embarrassment of riches out there. We're spoiled right now. We're spoiled with wrestling, and I don't know, everyone with a fucking microphone and a cell phone wants to give their shitty opinion, like yours truly here. But it's just fun. We're so spoiled right now. It's just a fun time to be a wrestling fan.
I definitely think AEW is better than Raw and SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not better than NXT, and I still watch it. I tried giving up Raw, but I couldn't help myself, and I watched it after the first week after Hell in a Cell. I just couldn't help myself. But, I mean, I wish they could elevate something to get me interested so I don't have to fast forward so much.
I'm glad you brought that up. Hell in a Cell was like WWE's 9/11. Like, it was such a shit show that it united even you guys. Like, Andi and Sam put down their fists and joined hands with the rest of us and our hatred for that, for not the final match for Hell in a Cell. Like, it united all of us like 9/11 did for America. That was a shit show, and they should be fucking ashamed of themselves for that.
Yeah, but what are they going to do? Like, I don't know how. That's just, even watching the Funhouse tonight, it just doesn't. I don't know. They've done something to his character by having that fucking screwy finish. Honestly, what are they going to do at Crown Jewel? What is going to happen? Are we going to have? I don't know how they could stuff up the best thing that they've had going in years. I don't know how they could have done it. I don't know how many creative heads are backstage, how many people they have, how many ex-wrestlers, just to go, what the fuck are we doing here, guys? And to expect that the fans wouldn't be pissed off about it, like, that's just really naive.
Do you think fans are going to be watching Crown Jewel with hopes for it to be different, or do you think fans are going to protest and not watch because of how shit the Saudi shows are?
Yeah, I always have the theory that Crown Jewel is just a very, very expensive house show. And
yeah,
if you've ever been to a Raw or a SmackDown, they always, the advertised main event is usually goes to the face all the time, like the dark match. So Saudi's just going to be a giant dark match, and all the things that you're expecting to happen are not going to happen. The last 3 Saudi events, I think, have been the same exact way. No titles really changed hand except the Buddy Murphy one, and that was in the Showdown, Super Showdown, but usually no titles change hand.
Good point, Andy. Well done, well said, mate.
Oh.
You piece of shit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. There it is.
All right, guys. Do you have anything you want to plug before I let you go?
I'll plug Andy's mom.
Oh, please do.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Sam, say one nice thing about Andy.
Andy, I like how hot your mum and wife are.
Now, Andy, say something nice about Sam.
I love the way you whisper in my ear after I crumb on you.
It's a good sign.
There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for settling the final finishing move, crumb-offs round. And as always, all hail Linda's Bush. A very special thanks again to Franco for being a guest, and Andy and Sam for finally settling the finishing move crumb-offs. And now it's time for the plugs. If you want to follow the hosts of the Steel Reel After Party, you follow the podcast at Steel Reel to Us, at After Party Jake, at After Party Zanka on Instagram. On Facebook, you search Steel Reel After Party and hit the like button. To cover your nips with some Steel Reel merchandise, you go to shop.spreadshirt.com/Steel Reel After Party with the new Mega Pounders with Cheese shirt and the Decentness in the World t-shirt. They're very funny, very good designs. And if you want to follow my guests today, once again, it's at francoisemosawa, at that __wrestling _guy, Sam, that wrestling guy, and the MVP of the Hangover, it's at Andi _with_and__I. And in the Steel Reel After Party Hangover Fantasy Draft, I believe I ended week 1 with 29 points. If my math is correct. It's still not as much as Jake. I believe Jake's still in the lead, but we will get the official numbers later. But thank you for listening, and until next week, all hail that bush.